Well, hello. Welcome to today's Dashcam Diary with Disabled with me, Chronically Happy. I'm leaving my chiropractor appointment right now to go shopping and meet up with one of my friends downtown Salem. I have like an hour and 15 minutes until I have to meet her. Gosh, I would have preferred her to meet me a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. I will find a way to kill time. Oh, so today was a successful chiropractor visit. I had to make this appointment on Wednesday because Wednesday was terrible. Wednesday was the worst chiro appointment I've had in almost about a year because we could not get anything to move. Like, Wednesday was so awkward with my chiro. Like I don't feel awkward around him, but I felt awkward in the way that, what the F? Why is my body not responding how it normally does? So the only thing that is completely different from what I've been doing over the last year is I totally missed my immunoglobulin therapy on last week. So last Wednesday, I was just so over busy with everything. I could not find the time and when I did have the time, I did not have the energy to set everything up for a half hour and then put the needles in. And then I also didn't have my pre-meds because I ran out of my meds. Well, last week was crazy. I couldn't get hardly any sleep. So I got lots of sleep last night. I had my infusion 2 nights ago. And I tell you what, those infusions are a life changer. Those infusions are what is changing my pain and my laxity in my body. Like, my chiro hasn't seen my body respond like it did Wednesday, seriously, for over a year. I've been consistently changing and trying to find the right dose for my body because doing a full dose every single week is too much on my body. But if I don't do an infusion every single week, then my body reverts back to its old pattern. It doesn't want to work. My body just refuses to allow the movement to happen. So what is the dosage for me? I still haven't figured it out, but I'm working on it and I'm trying to figure out how to help myself with my issues. Especially my phone issue right now. Let me pull over. I need to pull over to fix this. It's my vent. It's not staying right. I liked the angle that I had, but let me pull over and so I can get this correctly. I don't want to be distracted driving. I already have had comments in the past about my driving and recording, so I don't want any more negativity, Just I want to fix this. Get on the top one. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. Now, back to business. Back to driving. So the other thing is we rarely ever adjust my neck. My neck is very, very fragile. And I was told for years when I was in... So I've been in a lot of car accidents. I've been rear-ended 4 or 5 times, if not more. I can't even count how many times people have hit me from behind. The FJ has been hit in the rear bumper a minimum of... That old guy hit me, that hit and run happened. I destroyed that truck in another. Like, I can at least off the top of my head think of 3 major ones that have happened in the most recent years. But that's not how many times I've been rear-ended. I've been rear-ended more. I don't know what people's problems are, why they follow me too close. A lot of the times I've been at stoplights and stop signs when I've been hit. One of them I did have to brake a little bit hard in order to stop. But that guy behind me was following a little too close, and he totaled his Toyota Tacoma on my bumper and tire on the back of the FJ. I'm glad I have that tire, because that tire will end up in somebody's windshield if they're going too fast when they go to hit me next time or anytime. And that is a big all-terrain tire. It is a full-size tire. It's not just a regular spare. It is a full-size tire. That's probably why my little tire cover has a hard time getting on and off it, because it's a real tire, not a spare. But, oh my goodness. This is way too early to be going shopping. I didn't realize I'd used so much gas. Gosh, I've driven 146 miles in the last couple of days. And it makes sense when I went shopping with my other girlfriend the other day, my Aussie friend. Love you, Jody. So I had a great time. I do have a little bit of buyer's remorse with some of the stuff that I bought at Target, because it was a big chunk of money. I didn't necessarily need it, but I was feeling very motivated by her and her shorts that she's doing for her YouTube channel. And it's kind of motivated me to try and get back into this on a more regular basis, because I've just been so busy over the last couple, all summer really. I mean, I do get consistent once in a while with my posting, and then it seems like I drop off, and then I, lose some followers. I've lost like 4 or 5 in the last week. So whatever caused them to subscribe, I guess I'm not continuing the same kind of content. So, I guess I don't want to subscribe. Peace out. Which is everybody's prerogative. Like, I'm not going to try and force somebody to try and stay on my channel if it's not what you're into. But she really thinks I need to do my niche of my rave outfits, and like maybe have a separate channel for that, and then see how I grow on that versus this. I can still do these videos and everything, but maybe I should just make a separate account for just my raving or something, and then I can keep that separate from my, educational vlogging, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know, maybe I will start a second channel and see how it does with just my rave stuff, and see if that niche does better than what my chronic illness community part of my page is for. I don't know. I haven't decided, but she's giving me good ideas, and that's the kind of friends that I want to keep. Those are the kinds of people that I want in my life, is somebody that's going to help me, give me more ideas, that helps support me and watches my channel on content, that shares my content, writes comments on my stuff. Like, that is the type of quality friend that I've been wanting in my life for a long time. And, for a while I wasn't in contact with her because I've just been so busy this summer. And she's been busy with her own life as well. But we always need to try and make more effort in our friendships with others. I am very guilty of it. I don't always make the initial contact all the time. It's just because I'm so dang busy. Like, I'm constantly at doctors or dealing with insurance companies and phone calls, which I need to get on, honestly. Seriously, like, this is like the end of the week, and I only have like a little over, I think I have about 10 days, and my appointment is due for my VA, and I need to tell them my appointment date so they cover it. I have to make sure that my referral is still good. What if it expired in the last week because of my failure to call and let them know I have an appointment scheduled? So I need to make that phone call. You know what? I will probably do that after I record this video while I'm waiting for the hour to meet up with my friend. Maybe I will call them up and give them my appointment time. That way I'm kind of staying on top of my stuff while I'm still doing fun things, but I'm still accomplishing what I need to get done. Because that's what happens in my friendships and relationships is I will tend to put off the important things and procrastinate on them because I'm too busy, like, oh, I'm trying to be a dependable, good friend. I don't want to cancel. I don't want to be late. My friends' time is important, because what a lot of people think is, you know, actions speak louder than words. And if somebody's consistently late, then a lot of people will come up with the assumption or the idea that my time is not worth their time, so they are purposely being late because they do not value my time, and my time is important. So for them to blow me off or be late all the time, that's a bad characteristic of a friend, is to be late all the time. And, you know, doesn't matter what the excuse is. So I try my best not to plan things with people because I don't want to consistently let them down because I'm always late. Albany Mushroom Festival, what? What? I gotta go figure out what that's all about. Mushroom Festival? I haven't heard of any mushroom festivals in this area. What kind of mushrooms? Probably lion's mane and all those other good holistic mushrooms. Mushrooms are used for a lot of good things. They can do a lot of good things for us. I mean, we're still learning what fungi can do for us. Besides the magic kind, you know, I'm not speaking about just that. I'm speaking about like lion's mane and turkey tail, and you know, there's a lot of benefits that people are finding out about these kind of mushrooms and things that grow in the forest. I mean, how do you think penicillin was figured out? You know, it was, you know, these early settlers, and how many people had to experience lots of symptoms and sometimes not make it in this world because it was the wrong kind of mushroom, because mushrooms really are super hard to identify. I took a tree disease course in mushrooms and fungi, and they are extremely difficult to tell apart from each other. Even with visual aids, man, I had to identify, like, part of my final was a knowledge exam, and then also an identification that you're supposed to do through the entire term, collect all these specimens and identify all of them correctly. I identified all but 2 correctly. I did good. Like, I'm proud of myself, even though I turned in my project late because I'm just that kind of person. And I negotiated with my professors a lot about my timeliness of assignments. Yes, it carried throughout my entire 6 years of college. I was late with a lot of assignments and a lot of lectures. If I didn't skip it sometimes, because I wanted to go to the beach with my friends, my classmates. You're like, we don't want to go to lecture today. We're just going to go to the beach instead, because the Coast Range really isn't that far from the campus. It's like a half-hour, 45-minute drive. So sometimes we'd just go get some lunch and go down on the beach, for a class or 2, and then come back and finish our day, maybe do some homework together, work on a project, go to the library, do homework. I found it was easier for me to go to the library and get like study rooms at Oregon State University. Very, very helpful when you have ADHD and are distracted by everything in your environment. So when you take out all of the distractions of everything, I'm more capable of doing what I need to do. You just have to put me in a boring area with none of my stuff, to distract me. I found ways to trick my brain, you know. I just had to change the environment in order for me to get focused on what I needed to focus on, even though I didn't want to focus. That's the thing with ADHD. You can't force your brain to want to take interest in something. It's the hardest thing in the world, because you vehemently do not have any interest whatsoever in wanting to like study or read about something, and you're being forced to, and you're like, I don't give two craps about this. I don't care. So that's what happened to me in high school, honestly. Everything did not interest me. I had no interest in learning about any of the stuff except for art. So I purposely did things junior year. So my senior year was pretty much all art classes and half days. I did a lot of work early on in my high school career just so I could kind of slack off my last year and then be a big influence on my younger peers and make them skip class when I didn't have any classes left for the day. I was a bad influence on people. I was an instigator. I liked to instigate situations and scenarios. I wasn't always a leader. I was a follower as well. You know, I had a lot more, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to say ego. It wasn't my ego. It was more, I don't know. It was just, I had less inhibitions, I guess, than I do now. I inhibit myself a lot. I don't do a lot of things to get in trouble. I was a little troublemaker rebel back in high school. And then I was a dirty mouth sailor and raunchy. I was a raunchy, dirty sailor mouth. Like, I really put my mom through the ringer with my foul mouth back in my Navy days, right? Which my Navy days were spent in my 20s and early 30s, mid 30s. You know, I really had to check myself before I wrecked myself. I had to check myself before I wrecked myself. It was, oh, why is Sephora all? That's because the mall isn't open yet? Probably. I'm going to go down this next street and see if the Dollar General is open or something. There's got to be something open downtown. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. Salem's lame, man. Salem doesn't wake up for some time, I guess. Now we switch over 4 lanes. Boop. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I guess I had to go over 3 lanes. Just wanted to see if the Dollar Tree is open, yo. Not that I need the Dollar Tree, but I wouldn't mind getting some more flowers to make some more clips. So, depending on what time they open, I see a couple cars in the parking lot. 2-hour customer parking only. Oh, alright. Well, I definitely won't spend more than 2 hours here. Something about parking provided for the exclusive. Like, okay, so downtown Salem has had a lot of homeless encampments, and directly diagonally from where I'm sitting right now, where the Dollar Tree is. Here, let me do it. So across that intersection right here is the old downtown skate park. You can kind of see the. Okay, so yeah, way across there. Let me get my finger. And there's my finger. Okay, so all the way over here on the other side of that vehicle is where the homeless used to always. The homeless would gather there, which is basically underneath the bridge. So that bridge intersection that I just showed. Hold on, let me switch back real fast. So that it's a bridge. That's a bridge doing? Got my finger in there. That right there is a bridge going over to West Salem. There's only one bridge from main Salem to West Salem. And West Salem, that bridge gets so backed up. And it's the only bridge going into the western side of Salem because that is the Willamette River that flows right there. So all along that direction to the left where I didn't point the camera, so the traffic's going in front of me, is more towards the waterfront of the Willamette, downtown Salem, where they do a lot of events. They've really kind of built up that area. They have the carousel there. I guess it would be the equivalent of what Portland's Oaks Park is. Oaks Amusement Park, which is a very small park. But Salem isn't as cool as that. We don't have any amusement rides besides just a carousel. That's it. And it's an antique carousel, and I know that because my ex-sister-in-law did some painting and art on some of the horses and repainted them to rejuvenate it. So anyways, that whole area over there, though, was a homeless encampment area for the longest time before COVID happened. Like, even back when I was in high school in the late 90s, there would be homeless and vagrants, you know, mental illness, people hanging out down there at the park. This only seemed to, like, not necessarily increase because they've kind of kept the officials downtown have kind of kept an eye on it. As other parts of Salem, the more rural, urban parts where a lot of the encampments actually are, because they've been ran out of downtown Salem area. Because a lot of businesses downtown Salem are closing. Honestly, almost all of the mall, big stores like Macy's, Kohl's, like almost all of them are closing. There's like no major department stores downtown Salem anymore. It's starting to be a ghost town. It's kind of sad. So downtown brick and mortar stores are going away because they just don't see the business anymore. They might as well just turn all of these things into apartments. They might as well. They might as well just turn everything into apartments around here because people are not buying anything. I guess at the Oregon State Fair that a lot of vendors pulled out because nobody's buying anything. Nobody was buying crap at the fair this year. And so they didn't even stick around to the last day because they weren't getting enough business. Nobody was buying anything. Our economy is just slowly tanking. It was tanking faster before Trump took office, and I really don't want to bring too much politics into this. I'm not pro-politics anything. I'm not pro any politician. I am very anti-politician. None of them represent what I believe in. So I am very anti-politician. I don't love or like any of them. So let me get this straight right now. When it comes to my politics, I hate all of them equally. I hate all of them equally. But the only thing that I could see that's been any different since party takeover, changing of parties, is the economy tanked a lot faster with Biden in office, but with Trump in office, it's just a steady, small decline. It's a over time, like, sneak up on you prices. Biden, it was like instantly skyrocket. And whatever the policies are that had made these changes happen, which is a lot of it's the mail taxing, the shipping costs. Trump, I think, is trying to bring every kind of business back to America when in fact everything is closing instead of being opened. Because we all can't afford to make it. We can't afford to make it these days. I'm trying to put more glitter on my face. We can't make it on what we're doing. Whatever we're doing is not working and prices are still going up. I don't know if we're going to be able to get back to anything. I think we're stuck with the way things are, and things are just going to only continue to escalate with increased prices and increased taxes and increased everything. Gosh, that vehicle, it reminds me of my ex's. Looks just like it. Now, I'm kind of bummed that my ex and I are just not friends. He unfriended me from Facebook even. I'm like, I just found that out yesterday. I'm like, well, there's just no reason for us to not be civil. We're still part of the same Ray family, dude. And I did respond. I actually communicated to him for the first time since our breakup in our group chat yesterday. But maybe it's better we just keep it in the group. Like, maybe it's better we just keep it there and we don't need to communicate it any other way. Maybe for his own brain and heart. I don't know how involved he got with me, but I didn't fall for him. I was really kind of starting to like him, but when he showed his true colors in real life, I couldn't continue that relationship. It would not have worked. Not with our personalities. And that's what dating is all about, though, is figuring out what it is you want and what you expect out of a partner, your expectations of the other person. That is what really matters, what you expect from your partner. And I feel like you need to communicate that probably before you even decide to date. Figure out what each other's expectations are of each other before you really get totally too involved and too in love with each other and, head over heels over each other. Maybe that's something that I need to learn to discuss right up front with somebody. You might, set boundaries way ahead of time. Tell them what you expect out of the relationship, what you want out of the relationship. And I didn't communicate a lot about any of that stuff. And I think that's why it came to a head the way it did in person, because he refused to communicate enough about those expectations until it was a little bit too late. But that's not a bad thing. Like, we learn and hopefully grow from our experiences. And I learned, what it is I'm looking for when I'm dating somebody. Whether it's long distance or local. Honestly, I kind of prefer the long distance thing because I get a chance to travel. And number two, I have a little bit more space to be myself, and we can slowly work our way into more of a relationship that we're both happy with and can communicate well enough long distance. So I still think my ex is a great guy. It's just our values are not the same, and that's okay. Like I said, I learned from this, and it's kind of a shame that he had to unfriend me and stuff because he's so, I don't know how he felt about the breakup. But we're just better off as friends. And, I don't know if it's because I dated him that people in my group just haven't been communicative to me. Maybe I need to be more initiative and put myself out there more to communicate with these other family members. Maybe I need to put more effort into it, is why I don't receive as much. But even the people that barely ever post in there, like my ex, he gets more of a response than I do when I occasionally post. Which is kind of frustrating because I'm like, does it really matter what time of day I post something? Because no matter the different times I post something, I just don't get the response that I used to. And I don't know if it's because my Ray family members just don't respect me. Maybe they feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me. I don't know. These are negative things, but like, I don't see why I don't get the response that I do like I used to. Maybe I've just really outgrown my Ray family. Maybe I just need to start anew, and you know, I'll always have a place in my heart for my Ray family. I mean, I got a tattoo with my space cheese on it. You know, it meant a lot to me to meet these people and be with them. But when they're not putting in as much effort into communicating with me as I feel like I've tried with them, you know, what is the point of keep on trying when I'm, you know, that's insanity, trying the same thing and expecting a different result. So, you know, maybe that's just, maybe I'm just need to move on. I don't know. I'll figure it out one of these days. But interpersonal relationships are hard to navigate with being on the spectrum. I try not to be an overthinker, but my mind's always going a mile a minute because of my ADHD. And then I have processing disorder, so I have to go slow with learning things. So, yeah, just having slow processing, but yet fast thoughts. They kind of contradict each other. It's kind of hard to navigate that. So I'm not sure what these hours are, but I think people are going in. The lights are on. This guy went in. Okay, so I know it's open. So anyway, I'm going to go in and see if I can go find some of the same flowers so I can make some more flower clips. I really don't want to be spending any more money. I really don't, guys. I feel like I kind of have to, though. I'm not wearing any purple today. My shirt has a little purple on it today. So my friend gave me a cat collar. So I resorted to wearing actual animal collars instead of human collars. I like my little bow tie. I should probably take the bell off just because it does give it away as being a cat collar. Who knows? Just keep it on. I don't know. We'll just keep it on. I got my ginger. I think I'm going to keep my ginger in my glove box. Because I do get nausea here and there. Oh, and as a quick side note, this is this month's Dutch Brothers sticker. I finally made it to the first Wednesday for a sticker. So if y'all want to know what this month's Dutch Brothers sticker is this. Super cute, super cute. So I'm going to go, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. Oops, a little piece of my clip came off. And I'm going to go in and do my thing. Look at this cool case. I put my microphones in it. I'm not going to lose the receiver this time. It's going straight away in this. So I'm going to put my stuff away, and hopefully y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, guys.